I took my family on a Marbella vacation, but when my dad said, "You don't deserve this," I cut off my card. And what unraveled after left them facing a storm they never saw coming. My name is Nate. I'm 31, and up until last week, I still believed a part of me could fix my relationship with my family. I thought maybe time would smooth out the hurt, that forgiveness would settle in like sand over broken glass. But that illusion shattered over brunch in Marbella, Spain. We'd only been at the resort for 3 days. It was supposed to be a celebration, a rare family reunion. Mom had booked it months in advance and made it sound like a peace offering after a year full of tension, money drama, and too many cold silences over group chats. "You work so hard, Nate," she said over the phone. "It's time you let us treat you for once." No arguments, so I packed light. I even smiled when I saw the ridiculous group t-shirts she made with Mitchell Family Takeover 2025 printed in cursive across the chest. My sister Ava brought her fiancé, who clearly thought we were beneath him. My brother Jake arrived late and left early for everything, claiming crypto emergencies. Mom played mediator as always, and Dad just drank. It was Sunday morning, and the sun was spilling over the terrace like golden syrup. We were at the hotel's open-air restaurant, sipping overpriced espresso and fake laughing over some childhood story that was never funny to begin with. My card had been on file since check-in, and I was the one who quietly signed the dinner bills, the room upgrades, even the spa packages my sister kept mysteriously booking. I wasn't going to say anything. I didn't plan on starting a war in Marbella. But then it happened. Dad, leaning back in his chair, sunglasses perched on his forehead, lifted his cocktail and said it like it was just a joke. "You don't deserve this vacation, Nate. You've always been the buzzkill." I blinked. He took a long sip of his drink, then added with a smirk, "But hey, thanks for picking up the tab. Your card makes a fine family fund." Everyone laughed, even Ava, even Mom. And in that moment, I felt it. A cold, sick twist in my stomach. The kind of twist you feel when you know something isn't just rude, it's intentional, it's personal. "Then stop using my credit card," I said. I stood slowly, napkin in hand, placing it down on the table. "And maybe next time you'll remember that respect isn't included in the room service." No one moved. Ava's fiancé froze mid-bite. Jake raised his eyebrows. Mom reached for her glass but missed it slightly. I didn't wait for a response. I walked away through the pool area, past the bar, straight into the elevator. My hands were shaking, and that was the last time I ever called it a family vacation. Later that day, I opened my banking app, and there it was, $2,841.37 at the resort's luxury boutique, $1,200 for a deep tissue, couples massage. I'm single, by the way. $375.50 daily for minibar and room service charged to my suite. Well, I hadn't even been there. All of it on my credit card. That was the moment it clicked. This wasn't just a casual trip. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was coordinated. They knew. They knew my card was on file. They knew I wouldn't say anything, because I never did. And they'd use that silence like a blank check. I thought about everything that led up to this. The times Dad forgot his wallet. The vacation house I co-signed for but never got a key to. The birthday gifts that turned into family expenses. The moment Mom guilt-tripped me into paying off Jake's old DUI fine because he's your brother and he's struggling. I remembered it all, and I felt something crack. Not break, crack. That fine line between loyalty and self-destruction, the one I tiptoed on for years. That evening, I went back to the hotel front desk and requested the entire billing ledger. The manager hesitated but handed it over when I told him it was my card on file. I sat on the patio of my suite with a glass of water, flipping page by page through my family's private luxury spree, bought with my credit, my money, and none of their shame. And the wildest part? They never even said thank you. "You've always had more than the others," my mother said, "so stop acting like a victim." I was 10 when I realized my family didn't really see me. It was the night before my school's science fair. I'd built a volcano from scratch, papier-mâché, baking soda explosions, even painted the lava by hand. I'd stayed up late all week mixing glue and paint on the kitchen table. My mom had stepped over the project a dozen times without so much as asking what it was. But when Ava, my younger sister by 3 years, burst into the room crying about a broken tiara for her school play, Mom dropped everything. She stepped right over my volcano, crushed it under her heel, and didn't even notice. That was the first time I ever felt invisible. My dad, Frank, was an ex-army man turned insurance agent, big on speeches, short on hugs. He always believed men should provide and shut up about it. He used to say, if you're complaining, you're not working hard enough. So I stopped complaining. I started mowing lawns at 13, saved up every dime. By 16, I was fixing old phones and flipping them online. While other kids bought sneakers, I was setting up a savings account at the local credit union. I wanted a future of my own. But in our house, independence was punished. Family first meant Nate pays. When Ava turned 17, my parents bought her a car, a silver Mazda, freshly waxed with a ribbon. She's a girl, Mom said. It's not safe for her to take the bus. When I turned 18, I got a pat on the back and a used duffel bag for college. No joke, inside was a Target gift card for $50 and a note from my dad, make us proud but not too proud. They never visited my college, never asked about my classes. But when Jake, my older brother, got expelled for the second time, guess who they called to help him get back on his feet? It's just a little loan, Mom said sweetly. Jake is going through a lot. You're stable. You can spare it. I wired him $3,000. He spent it on crypto, weed, and a flight to Thailand. The first major betrayal wasn't Marbella. That was just the final straw. No, the first real betrayal happened 4 years ago when I came home for Christmas. I'd saved for months to surprise my parents with a cruise to Alaska. I printed the tickets, wrapped them in a box, put a note that said, "Thanks for raising me. Let me take care of you for once." My dad opened the box, blinked once, then passed the tickets to Ava. "Oh, cool," she said. "I've always wanted to go. Maybe Connor and I can make it a couple's trip." They gave my gift to her just like that. Didn't even ask me. I was the wallet, not the son. After that, it got worse. Anytime a bill was late, I'd get a call. "We're in a bit of a pinch this month. The water heater broke. Jake needs dental surgery. Ava's boyfriend is out of work. Could you cover her rent for 1 more month?" Always phrased like it was temporary, like I was the only one who had anything to spare, because I had a good job, because I didn't have a family of my own. Let me be clear, I said yes too many times, and they knew it. Because every time I said no, they went silent. Gaslighting is a love language. You're just bitter because you're alone. You always had it easier than your siblings. Your sister's struggling. She's not as tough as you. You're lucky to have money, Nate. Be grateful. You're so selfish lately. What happened to you? I started doubting myself. Was I being cold, uncaring? Was it wrong to not want to cover $2,800 in wedding catering for Jake's second marriage? Apparently, yes. Because when I refused, Mom cried and said, "I don't even recognize you anymore." And Dad texted, "You've changed, not for the better." The reality of what happened in Marbella hit me hard. I never agreed to foot the bill. I only committed to joining the trip, expecting a shared family effort. But the moment we arrived at the hotel, the front desk asked for a card to hold for incidentals. All eyes turned to me. Dad gave a careless shrug, Mom flashed a knowing smile, and Ava chimed in, "It's just a hold, Nate. You'll get it back." Trusting their words, I handed over my credit card, assuming it was a formality. The next morning, reality shattered that illusion. Ava had splurged on 2 designer handbags from the resort's boutique, and Jake had ordered 4 bottles of premium champagne to his room, all charged to my card. When I confronted them, Dad just chuckled, leaning back with his usual dismissive air. "Lighten up, Nate," he said. "You'll earn that back in a week." His words stung, but not because of the money. It was the utter disregard, the absence of any consultation or respect. They didn't ask me. They didn't even consider me. It was as if my role was predetermined. The family wallet, always open, never questioned. That moment laid bare a truth I'd long avoided. My family saw my resources as theirs to spend, without a shred of gratitude or acknowledgement. I stared at that receipt for the $5,443.60 spa bill, and something inside me said, "Enough." "We just thought you'd be okay with it," my mom whispered. "You should have thought again," I replied. Then I pulled out the receipts. I didn't raise my voice or cause a scene. I didn't storm out or demand the trip's immediate end. Instead, I quietly gathered my belongings, walked with purpose to the hotel's business center, and printed every receipt tied to my credit card statement. Each slip of paper bore a name, a room number, a timestamp, a meticulous record of excess. Those receipts weren't just transactions. They were chapters in a story of betrayal, each one detailing my family's reckless indulgence in luxury purchases and room service extravagance. They hadn't merely taken advantage of me. They'd orchestrated their spree with calculated precision, leaving a paper trail of their disregard. My family's actions weren't careless oversights. They were deliberate. Each charge a mark of their entitlement, etched in the ink of designer goods and overpriced champagne. As I held those receipts, the weight of their exploitation settled in, not as anger but as a quiet resolve to reclaim my boundaries. The email that night, I sent a group email. Subject, family expenses breakdown. Urgent review. Hey all, I wrote. I've attached a PDF with all charges that hit my account this week. You'll see your names next to the purchases. Please confirm who will be reimbursing what. If I don't hear back by Friday, I'll have no choice but to move forward with legal and financial recourse, including fraud claims. I'd prefer to keep this civil. Nate. No emojis, no love you, just numbers, facts, accountability. The Zoom call 3 hours later, I got a text from Ava. Are you serious right now? Then Jake, you're losing it, bro. This is family. And finally, Mom, asking for a quick Zoom to talk privately. I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. I just sent her a meeting link. They all joined. Jake was shirtless in bed. Ava was doing her makeup. Mom had wine, Dad wasn't on camera. Nate, Mom started, all sweet and soft. Why would you threaten legal action? It's us. Exactly, I said. It's you. That's the problem. Jake scoffed. This is about the hotel stuff? You know we were going to pay you back. I shared my screen. Slide 1, total charges, $14,372.10. Slide 2, breakdown by person. Jake, $4,200. Ava, $3,850. Dad, $2,400. Mom, $2,100. Random charges with no name, $1,800. Silence. You think this is okay? I asked, eyes locked on the screen. That it's normal to charge this much to someone without asking? You make more money than any of us, Ava said sharply. It's not like it's hurting you, and that makes it okay to rob me? No one answered. Did I authorize it? I pressed. Well, no, Ava muttered. Then it's theft. Mom's monologue, that's when Mom started crying. We just wanted one nice trip, just one where no one had to worry. You're always so cold, Nate, so distant. We thought maybe if we could all just relax like we used to, we'd feel like a family again. Used to? I asked, voice flat. When did we ever relax? When you crushed my volcano for Ava's tiara? When I paid for Jake's second DUI lawyer? When you gave my Alaska cruise gift to Ava and her boyfriend? Her face crumbled. Dad finally unmuted. All right, Nate, you've made your point. What do you want? Money? I leaned toward the webcam. No, I want boundaries and consequences. The next day, I made a decision. If they wanted to pretend I didn't matter, I'd show them exactly how much I did. 1. Fraud report filed. I contacted my bank and flagged every charge. I had the hotel receipts, emails, IP addresses. They escalated the case. 2. Group chat expose. I posted every receipt in the extended family WhatsApp group. Caption, this is what vacation looked like, just so you all know who paid for your cocktails. My cousin Maya gasped. My uncle asked if I was serious. Ava left the group. Jake wrote, don't air family drama. I ignored him. 3. Will and trust update. I called my lawyer. Remove all family members from the emergency contact and will, especially my parents. 4. Work bonus reveal. At the end of that week, I got a $75,000 year-end bonus. I booked a solo trip to Iceland. 5 stars. First class. And I posted every moment. Caption, paid by me. Enjoying it alone. No freeloaders this time. Dad tried again. A week later, he called. I didn't pick up. He left a voicemail. Nate, you've made your point, but you're not being fair. We're family. You owe us a chance to fix this. I sent a one-line text back. I owed you nothing. You just overdrafted my patience. The legal payback my parents assumed this would follow the usual script. Blow up, silence, half apology, and eventually another charge on my card. Not this time. I consulted with a lawyer. This isn't just family drama, he said, flipping through the receipts. It's financial misconduct. They had no legal right to spend this amount without consent. I filed an official civil complaint, a claim for reimbursement. I listed unauthorized charges, emotional distress, financial abuse over time. Certified copies of the lawsuit were mailed to each family member. They were quiet for 3 days. On day 4, Dad exploded. The phone call I recorded. How could you do this? A son doesn't sue his father. A father doesn't steal from his son, Frank, I said calmly. It was just a vacation. $11,400 isn't just anything. You're tearing this family apart over money. No, I'm just refusing to keep funding its dysfunction. After that call, I blocked his number. The birthday bombshell. Mom planned a 60th birthday party for herself, friends, family, even Kio workers. She naively invited me as if nothing had happened. I didn't decline. I showed up, but I brought a surprise. Toward the end of the night, I stood up during the speeches. Everyone was sipping champagne, sharing sweet stories. I interrupted. Sorry to cut in, but since we're all here, I have something to say. I pulled out the printed receipts and laid them in front of my mother. These are the charges from our family vacation. I didn't gift it. I didn't agree to it. I just paid for it, like always. Silence fell across the room. Aunt Mary gasped. My cousin whispered, "Unbelievable." My uncle looked away. I continued, "This isn't about the money. It's about respect. About how my no has never been accepted in this family. But from now on, it will be." And then I walked out. Cutting the cord, I changed all my passwords, opened brand new bank accounts with no shared access, removed my family from my insurance and emergency contacts, unlinked them from payment apps, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, revoked access to shared medical plans and retirement beneficiaries. 3 days later, Mom texted, "What's this new card? We couldn't buy Ava her course materials." I replied, "Sounds like your responsibility, not mine." One last ask. Ava messaged me, "I didn't know it would get this bad. It's not my fault, but I'm in a tough spot right now. Could you spot me $300 till Friday? I'll pay you back." I didn't respond. Instead, I sent her a screenshot of her hotel charges. $3,850, Ava's account, spa, shopping, dining. I wrote, "Already did, no returns." Going public, I wrote an article on Medium titled, "When Your Family Sees You as a Wallet." I laid out every detail, childhood incidents, credit card abuse, how guilt was weaponized, how boundaries were bulldozed. The article went viral, 250,000 views in under a week. Therapists reposted it. A TikTok creator quoted it. Emails poured in, "This is my life. It's like you wrote my story. Thank you. You gave me the courage to say no." The end of breaking point. I didn't just reclaim control. I cut the cord. No more family accountant. No more emotional punching bag. No more provider by default. I was free. Alone, maybe, but clean and stronger than I'd ever been. "You've changed," my sister texted. "Thank you," I replied. Then I blocked her. 8 weeks later, silence. Then a ping. 2 months passed. Not a word from my parents. No emails, no calls, no guilt-tripping group chats. I thought they'd finally backed off, maybe even learned something. Then one morning, while sipping coffee in my new apartment, quiet, clean mine, I got a text from my father. "Jake's about to lose his apartment. Can you at least co-sign the lease?" I laughed out loud. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened my email and clicked confirm on the message from my real estate agent. "Your offer on the townhouse has been accepted." That's right, townhouse in my name. No co-signers, no shared accounts, no family strings attached. The rise of Nate. I've been saving for years, but now, with no one draining my income through guilt and manipulation, I was finally building something real. I paid off my car, bought a modern, minimal townhouse with cash for the down payment, built an investment portfolio that actually worked for me. I even started taking weekends off, something I hadn't done in over 6 years. I slept better, ate better, looked in the mirror one morning and saw someone I hadn't seen in years, a man who wasn't tired, wasn't angry, just free. Let the dominoes fall. Ava lost her job. Apparently the boutique she worked at shut down. She was devastated. Mom emailed me, "Ava is struggling. Can you just help her out until she gets back on her feet?" I replied, "You raised her. You help her." Then I archived the thread. Jake's car got repossessed. A friend of mine from high school who now works at the DMV texted me, "Did Jake seriously start Ubering from your parents' place again?" "Yep," I replied. Back to base camp. Mom's meltdown. Mid-November, I received a handwritten letter. Blue ink, shaky cursive, perfume scent, vintage guilt trip. "Nate, I know things got heated, but we're still a family. Ava is hurting. Jake is lost. Your father hardly talks anymore. We were just trying to create a special vacation. That doesn't mean we don't love you. Please call me. Love, Mom." I flipped the letter over, wrote one sentence on the back and mailed it back. Love doesn't come with an invoice. The promotion. In January, I was called into my VP's office. We had coffee, talked goals, performance, leadership. Then he pushed an envelope across the desk. "You've been one of the most dependable leaders we've had. We want to put you in charge of the division next year." Inside the envelope, executive track, a $40,000 raise, profit sharing, flexible schedule, full trust. "This real?" I asked. "Very," he said. And for once I didn't feel like a fraud. I'd earned it. No help, no shortcuts, just me. No bragging, no posts, no flex. I didn't post about the promotion, didn't show off the new furniture, didn't brag about the vacation I planned for spring. Because the best revenge is silence. They kept texting. I kept deleting. They spiraled. I soared. The final drive-by, one Sunday afternoon, I drove past my childhood home. The paint was fading. The lawn hadn't been mowed. Jake's old truck sat in the driveway, one tire flat. I didn't stop, didn't honk, didn't think about ringing the doorbell. I just whispered to myself, "You built this mess. Now you get to live in it." The message that broke me, then healed me. In March, I got a message from my cousin Maya, the only family member who stayed neutral. Just wanted to say, "You were right to walk away." I used to think I was selfish for setting boundaries. Now I see it's called self-respect. You gave me permission to put myself first. Thank you. I sat with that message for a long time. Tears came, but they weren't sad. It was the feeling of finally being understood, finally seen, not as a wallet, not as a punching bag, not as the stable one who could handle everything. Just as me. What they lost, Ava's back at my parents' house, jobless, applying to entry-level receptionist positions she swears are temporary. Jake evicted again. Mom and Dad quiet for once, drowning in credit card debt and silence. No one left to leech off. The family ATM shut down permanently. They used to call me cold, insensitive, distant. What they never realized is they created that distance, and I finally let it stay. "We miss you," the letter said. I read it once, then burned it. It arrived on a rainy Thursday. No return address, no name on the envelope, but I knew the handwriting. "Nate, we've all made mistakes, but you shutting us out hurts more than you know. You've always been the strong one, the smart one. And maybe that made us forget you're human too. Jake's been asking about you. Ava is in therapy. Your father, he's changed. We're not asking for money, just a seat at the table again. Please come home. Love, Mom." I sat with the letter for a full minute. No music, no distractions, just me and the past. Then I stood, walked to the fireplace, and lit a match. The paper curled in seconds. Smoke rose, and with it, every old obligation, every old guilt, every fake apology disguised as love. I didn't cry, didn't hesitate. I just whispered, "I am home." He didn't go back. They never heard from him again.